if you're going through family court and you're a dad and you had the option of spending $30,000 or around $30 in your family court matter, which one would you choose? It sounds too good to be true, but just give me a second, let me explain. Hi, I'm Laurie G, and I'm a father's rights defense coach, and I've been assisting fathers and their supports people for 10 years now. 10 years, a decade. And during that time, I made it my mission to find out through the fathers' rights movements how or what was it that assisted fathers in gaining full parental responsibility, shared parental responsibility, full custody or full time, or what was it that lawyers weren't telling us, you couldn't find on the internet, that was making fathers get good results. So I spent long hours talking to people, interviewing people, every single time that I saw a father post that he had gained full custody or that he had gained shared custody, whatever it was, shared responsibility we call it now, I would hone in on that father, pretty much stalk that father on social media and get them to tell me how they did it. Now, after assisting my partner in his children's case and then assisting many other fathers, I began a coaching business to give fathers the opportunity to have something other than an expensive lawyer to help them through the family court matter. Now, obviously, as a father's rights defense coach, my fees are much lower than a lawyer's because, hello, I'm a father's rights defense coach. I'm not a lawyer. So I'm not going to, be around here charging the same as a lawyer or close to what a lawyer would charge, because that just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me as to why lawyers charge that much in the first place, to be honest, when you realize just how easy the work is. I mean, once you get used to filling out forms, it really shouldn't cost, $56 per 6 minutes, which how much some lawyers will charge you to fill out a form. But anyway, back to what I was saying as to what were some of the things that assisted fathers in getting those good results. That tell the courts who you are, who you want to be, what do you want? Rather than the courts trying to decipher what it is that you really want, or rather than the courts looking at you as a angry father or a father with a vendetta, rather than writing affidavits that are all about pointing out all of the imperfections and negative aspects about your ex, which, by the way, again, just makes you look like an angry father with a vendetta. Doesn't really make you look like the kind of father that wants to put aside the fights. So it doesn't really make you look like you want to put aside all of the negativity and all of the animosity and get along with your ex for the sake of your children. Because if you think about it for a hot second, that's all the courts probably want to see. They want to see, are these two idiots, capable of getting along? Like, if they're not capable of getting along, if this is just a high conflict case where neither of them are backing down at all, then it would probably be better for the kids, for one parent, to have less time with the children so that there's less communication being exchanged between the parents. So there's so that the parents don't have to talk to each other at all. And so usually what happens when that is all that's been presented to them is that one parent gets less time, and that's usually the father. So you can easily write to the courts on your affidavit what you wish to happen, what you want, what you wish out of this court case. I mean, it really sounds that simple, doesn't it? But your lawyers would talk you out of that. Your lawyers would be like, no, you need to say all that bad stuff about the mum because, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do this and you need to do that because it's more conflict, more money, honey, that's all it is. So I've created these digital products for you, which are $20, which is just under 30 Australian dollars. And there you'll see that there are a few paragraphs that you can add to your affidavit. And instead of spending $30,000 or $40,000 on your lawyers, you could add these paragraphs in there and begin to reduce conflict in your affidavit. Babe, you don't have to believe what you're writing. You just have to play the game. You just have to present yourself a certain way. Present yourself as a bigger and better parent. Now, some lawyers, when you go to your lawyers and say, hey, I want to add this, or I bought this product, this digital product, and I really want to add this, and obviously they're going to have something to say about it, and they're probably going to be like, oh, you going to court is implied that you want to be a dad. But is it though? Is it implied that you want to be a dad because you've made an application to the courts? Because if you're just focused on talking shit about your ex, right, and then in your initiate an application, you put down that you want full custody of your children when your ex was the primary carer, or you guys had shared care, but now you want full custody of the children, and you're talking shit about her in all the affidavits, does it really imply that you want to be a father to the children? I mean, sure it does, but it also implies that you want to destroy the mother more than anything else, if all you're doing is just talking shit about her. So, if doing that has not gotten you very good results, maybe it's time to change up your game. Because if you're doing the same thing and expecting a different result, what is that? The definition of insanity. So why don't you try something different? Add these paragraphs, okay, to your affidavit and see how you go. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to immediately get you some results, and I'm not saying that it's going to turn your case around. What I'm saying is definitely going to help. It's definitely going to have your affidavit stand out from the rest, and it's definitely going to get the registrars and the ICL to actually look at your affidavits, because believe it or not, and some of you know what I'm talking about, a lot of them don't even read your affidavits. If your affidavits are just like the rest of the affidavits, just ex focus, like you've just mentioned your ex's name 20, 30 times, and that's all it is, just talking shit about your ex, then they don't really want to read that, you know. They're just gonna let the family report writer or the child expert read it, because they get paid more money and they got more time to sit there and actually go through that. But again, those people that are the family report writer or the child expert that's going to be reading your affidavit, if it's just ex-focus and full of negativity, then they are also making opinions and going to make recommendations that are probably not going to be in your favor if you are not showing them that you are genuine about wanting to be a father and that you are genuine at wanting to reduce conflict. They just want to see if you are the bigger and better person, the bigger and better parent. They want to see a difference between the two of you. And if you want to have a higher chance of success, the difference, the one that changes status quo has to be the father. I mean, that's if you want a higher chance of success. If you just want to go in there and make your ex's life hell and make her spend all money on lawyers and you know, just do that, then by all means, continue doing that and see how you go, right? But if you want to start reeling back, you know, the conflict, reeling back the legal expenses, just, you know, taking a step back and looking at your case as something more than just telling on your ex or fighting with her in front of the courts. Maybe you just want to, you know, step back for a moment and be genuine and show humility, show honesty, show transparency. Tell the courts, hey, I'm not perfect, but I didn't do those violent things. I forget birthdays, or I'm not that clean sometimes. Well, I wasn't the man she wanted me to be, but now I just want to be part of my children's lives and I want to get along with her. So that's what you're going to write in your affidavits. So check it out. What do you got to lose? You want to lose 30 grand or you want to lose $30? You tell me.